Have you ever felt like your life is swirling all around you? Like you're spinning a million plates and it's only a matter of time before they or you start breaking? Well, that's how I've been feeling in my business for the last few years. So I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm saying no to the chaos so I can give a big ol' yes to the vision God has put on my heart for the future of Crazy Good Talks. That's why in this episode, I'm going to share with you why this means I'm putting a pause on the podcast. So grab your favorite beverage and let's have a chat. Hi, I'm Deirdre Van Nest, and you're listening to the Crazy Good Talks podcast. I created this podcast because I'm obsessed with helping financial professionals and entrepreneurs like you express yourself in a way that attracts and wins you more business. Plus, I want to help you make a huge impact on the lives of others. That's why each episode is packed with actionable strategies to help develop your speaking, storytelling, and content creation skills. Skills that allow you to effortlessly make emotional connections with your ideal clients. I'm so excited to take you on this journey because when you learn these skills, your influence and your impact will be limitless. Let's jump into today's episode. Thanks for joining me. This has been a really difficult episode to put together. It feels really vulnerable. And honestly, I'm afraid of disappointing you. I'm worried you'll think I'm a quitter. But I've realized I can't let those fears stop me when I know this is the right decision. So here's what's going on. For the past several years, I have been spreading myself and my team way too thin. And maybe you can relate. I'm a quick start on the Colby, which basically means I say yes, and I jump into things more quickly and more often than I probably should. And this can throw myself and my team into chaos, meaning we're doing more work than is sustainable. And because we move quickly when it comes to our backstage operations, we aren't doing things in the most efficient manner possible. So with that as our backdrop, last year I came to a crossroads. I had been feeling really exhausted and frustrated for quite some time. And I realized, Deirdre, it's either time to burn this whole business down or completely blow it up. And after several months in prayer, I felt God was leading me to blow it up, to create a business that was beyond me, one where I could provide jobs for other coaches, speakers, and content creators, one where we could serve more clients at deeper levels, and one that would leave a legacy, meaning I could one day sell it or maybe pass it along to my kids. But to do this, we needed to change how we were doing things, and I needed to change how I thought about things and how I was leading my team. Specifically, we needed a long-term growth strategy. We needed systems. And most importantly, we needed to take a breath. This meant, as the founder and visionary of Crazy Good Talks, I needed to start protecting my time and energy, and I needed to protect my team's time and energy as well. And the way for me to start doing that is to start saying no. Very difficult, and I know that might be hard for you, but for me to accomplish my new vision, some things had to give. And a lesson I learned a long time ago, haven't really followed it, I'm trying to do that now that you might relate to, is whenever you say yes to something, you're always saying no to something else. So keep that in mind as you're filtering your own decisions. But on the flip side, when you say no to things, that opens you up to say yes to other things. So anyway, back in February, I hired a business manager to help us put these plans in place. And part of that process has meant we are questioning everything. We're not just continuing to do things the way we've always done them. And we're not just continuing to do things because we've always done them. Whatever we're doing, whatever we say yes to, must be directly aligned with our plans for the future and done in the most excellent and efficient way possible. So this is necessary. It's super exciting, but it's also really hard because it means I have to say no to aspects of my business that I enjoy, like the podcast and connecting with you through the podcast. So why is the podcast in particular going on pause? Well, one of our big action items for this quarter is going through a rebrand. We've added some new services like creating done-for-you personal brand stories. And this is shifting the way we talk about who we are and what we do. And because of that, we've decided to pause the podcast until the rebrand is complete. See, this will allow us to strategically redesign the podcast. We want to have processes in place to identify and create the content you want and need to move the needle in your business. We also want to have better processes in place for promoting the podcast. Our goal is when we relaunch is to know we are giving you amazing content that is consistent with who we are and what you need to hear from us. And we are doing it in a way that drives our business forward. So I'm hoping you'll come back when we relaunch. We're aiming for the first half of next year or sooner. And Crazy Good Talks itself is not going anywhere. In fact, I'm super excited for the future because we're growing. We're getting more dialed into our unique purpose and more dialed into how we can serve you at a deeper level in your business. So even though the podcast is on pause, it's still business as usual when it comes to helping you develop your speaking, storytelling, and content creation skills. And if you want to personally connect with me, LinkedIn is still the very best place to do that. And if you want to learn more about how we can work together, please visit crazygoodtalks.com. And before we wrap up, I do want to thank my amazing producer, Patrice, for going along this journey with me. I couldn't have done this without you, and it would not nearly have been as much fun. I want to thank my production company, Proudmouth, and all the great folks there. We will be back. And most of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for the shout outs you left us online. I want to thank you for the emails you sent, or if I bumped into you in person, telling me you listened to the podcast and how much it helped you. It has meant the world to me. So finally, if you're at a point in your business like I am, I really hope my story will give you any permission you need to also say no. And I hope by my going first and saying no in a public way, that will inspire you to make the changes you need in your business and as a leader to follow your vision and take that massive leap forward. So until next time, be blessed and make it a crazy good day.
Thank you for listening to the Crazy Good Talks podcast. Click the subscribe button below to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered in this podcast represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Accelerated Performance, LLC. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only.